Hey guys, welcome to the next part of my modeling tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be finishing up with the door of our car. So let's get started. Before modeling the door, uh, I would want to make some small adjustment to the vertex over here. Just bring it out, and that's better. Now what we can do is let's go into the polygon mode, and let's select let's go into the side view, enable see-through, and let's go to the polygon mode and select these polygons. Okay, before that I want to have an edge that goes right over here, so let's modify this vertex so that this edge goes like that, and let's bring this edge to the top, and this edge also a little bit top. And now what we can do is let's go to the polygon mode, and let's select these faces right over here, and you can see that there is an option called hinge from edge. Let's do that now. Let's hinge from this edge. I'm sorry, let's click on hinge from edge and then turn it just like that. And with the same polygon selected, just rotate it. I'm sorry, with okay, let's go into the vertex mode now, and let's go to the edge mode instead of vertex mode, and let's connect the edges over here. Let's do a connect right over there, and we can go ahead and delete this edge over here and go to the vertex mode, remove these vertices. What we can do now is let's select all these edges, okay. Let's go to the vertex mode and make a selection of these edges, and deselect some of the edges over here, and also some of the edges right over here, and I'm sorry, vertices, not edges, vertices. And now what we can do is let's turn on snaps toggle, and let's use vertices, turn on the move tool, that doesn't seem to work. What we can do is let's rotate this edge like that, and bring it forward, Let's deactivate see-through mode for now, because it's a bit difficult to see what's going on over there. So that looks fine for now. And now what we can do is go to the vertex mode and do a target weld. Let's click on target weld and weld that vertex like that. And let's bring this vertex out and do the same for all these vertices. Just spread them out evenly. Okay, still make some tweakings over there. So that looks better. Next what we can do is let's activate the see-through mode now. And let's select a bunch of polygons, mainly these polygons. And I think these are the faces that I need. And also let's select these faces right over here, and let's detach them and name that as carbon fiber. Well, I think that piece is mainly made of carbon fiber, so I'm naming that because I don't know what that's called. So let's just give it a name as carbon fiber. And let's go to the editable poly mode and isolate that piece of geometry. And let's go to the edge mode, select all these edges, move that inside, and select these edges, move that over there, select these edges, move it straight back, and with these two edges move it straight back. And now you can go to the vertex mode and merge some of these vertices over here. So let's go to weld and decrease the threshold to 1. I've selected some unwanted edges over here which I don't really want to select. And now let's do a weld. Okay, that's nice. Now what we can do is let's go to the edge mode and let's add a rings selection, do a connect, slide it all the way over here, and let's check out how that comes out in the NURB subdivision. Well, that looks decent enough, except for one thing. You need these points uh, a bit sharper. So what I'm going to do is I'll select these set of edges, and let's connect them, and do the same for these set of faces. Connect them, and now let's check at the NURBS distillation. Let's try increasing the iterations to see if that gives some nice results. Well, I think I'm satisfied with this shape. So what we'll do now is let's exit isolation mode, and let's come to the doors. Let's okay, I want some edges over here, so let's select these set of edges, and let's connect them using about one edge loop. Switch over to vertex mode so that we can weld some of the vertices like that. And now select these edges, take them all the way inside over here, and go to target weld. Before that, let's switch over to the vertex mode, go to target weld and weld these vertices, and now to the edge mode, make another extrusion, and again to the vertex mode for doing a target weld, and what we can do now is let us let's see if we can connect this piece of geometry. Okay, let's use the vertex target weld this piece with this piece, and I'm sorry, do a target weld on this piece with this piece, this piece with this piece, well, I just can't figure out how to merge some of those vertices over here. Okay, what we can do is let's start creating this piece of geometry from the first. Let's delete all these uh, faces over here, and let's delete them, And now let's go to the edge mode, select, select some edges like this, and let's apply a bridge, and let's select this edge, apply a ring selection, and connect it using one vertex over here, and let's raise that vertex up just a bit, and now we can go ahead and bridge this gap over here. So you can see that we have almost completed the door. Now for some final adjustments over here, what we can do is let's select, go to the polygon mode and select these pieces, and let's go to the side view, let's turn on the see-through mode, and I want some vertex right over here like that. And now let's go to the polygon mode, and let's we can go ahead and extract those faces out to form the door piece. So let's go to edit geometry, and let's detach it and name it as door. Let's deactivate see-through mode again and turn on isolation mode. I've just made some mistakes. We've selected the wrong selection for the door piece. So what we can do is let's go to the polygon mode, and we also want to select let me deselect these pieces over here, or what we can do is uh, just give me a minute. So what we have to do right now is I want to select just the door from this selection. So you can see that let's go to the polygon mode, and let's select these pieces, or let's use the rectangular selection tool and draw a selection around these pieces. So now you can see that we have selected the right parts, but you can also see that there are some faces over here that need to be selected. So let's go ahead and click on them to select those faces, and I think that's it for the door. let's see if we have selected all the pieces. Well, I think that's it. Let's see over here. Yeah, so there are some pieces that have to be selected over here. So let's select all those pieces carefully without selecting any unwanted pieces. There. There is a face over here. And yeah, so we have selected the door. Let's go ahead and detach the door. And let's see if we have selected the right pieces. Let's isolate the door by pressing Alt Q. And let's turn off the see-through mode. And yeah, we haven't selected one piece of geometry over here, I think. So let's go ahead and bridge that over there. Select the geometry, go to the edge mode, select these two edges, and let's bridge them across. And let's exit isolation mode, and let's isolate this piece of geometry. Yeah, that's fully closed except for here. I think you can go ahead and bridge the geometry on this side. So let's go to the edge mode and select this edge right over there, except these edges. And you can see some small edges selected over here and also at the top. Let's bridge those edges and add about 1, 2, 3 segments. Let's see what happens if we select all the edges over here and do a bridge. Let's find the right value. Yeah, you can see that that piece doesn't come out so good. Well, that doesn't work, so what we can do is let's go ahead and select uh, the two edges on either side by deselecting the top and bottom edges. Sorry, not this edge. Select this edge and also this edge over here. And now let's apply a bridge with about one subdivision. I'm sorry, two divisions. And think we can apply that. And let's go to the vertices mode. And see if we can weld these two vertices together. Select the two vertices, weld them, and let us go down and select these two vertices weld them, and now switch over to the edge mode. Select this edge over here, and let's connect it. Okay, that's correct. And now let's select this edge, ring selection, and let's connect it at positive 93. And now let's do some welding. Okay, and this vertex. Okay, and let's weld them. Make sure we have got some nice threshold values. And okay, so let's quit isolation mode, and next thing what we have to concentrate on is this piece over here. You can see that we've got one edge coming right over here, and there's a slight gap over here. So let's go to the editable poly mode, select this, switch over to the vertices mode, and let's move the vertices, or let's select this piece, and let's move these vertices. Out just a bit, like that. And we surely want to have another edge running over here, so let's go to the edge mode, apply a ring selection, and I think that's correct. Let's connect it using one edge, move that edge all the way down over there, and let's switch over to the vertex mode now. Select that vertex, let's turn on vertex, okay. Let's turn off snap toggle now, and I think we have got it correct. Let's see if that follows the surface. Okay, so in this step what we can do is let's select all these vertices in this line and switch over to the local mode and push them out just a bit, like that. And I think we can just push them out. Okay, that's enough, so that we get that nice curvature over there that goes all the way along. And I think we need some tweaking over here for this vertex. We've got to push it in just a bit, and this vertex must go in just a bit. Okay, so that's better. And next thing what we can do is I think we have added thickness to the door and also to the front fenders. We can now go ahead and add thickness to the hood of the car. So let's select the hood, and let's enter isolation mode by pressing Alt Q, and you can see one face that we haven't bridged across in the last this piece was the piece that came from the door, so we don't need that anymore because we have gone ahead and bridged that gap. So let's delete it. And next thing, there's a piece over here. Let's see from where that piece has come. Okay, I think that piece is the piece that has come from the door. Let's go to the polygon mode and select. The door has a gap over there, so let's delete these faces and let's go to the door, enter isolation mode. You can see that there's a gap. So let's go ahead and go to the edge mode, select these two edges along with these two edges and bridge them across. So that's better. Now let's exit isolation mode. And you can see over here that this piece is bent slightly, so let's go to the vertex mode, select only these two vertices, go to the working mode, push them in just a bit to straighten them out. Like that, and like that, so that those pieces get straightened out. And let's take care of the hood now, enter isolation mode. If you take a look at the reference images of the car, let's take a look. You can see that the hood of the car has a crease over here, so we can go ahead and detach this piece from the rest of the geometry. So let's detach it and name that as hood, and once again let's enter into isolation mode for the hood. And now let's add a shell modifier, and increase the inner amount to something pretty decent, like that. The top view, you can see that these vertices are slightly offset a bit, so let's bring them out like that, and that looks decent enough. And let's bring this bunch of vertices up just a bit. I'm sorry, use the local mode and bring them. Okay, that doesn't work, so let's bring it out just a bit like that and see if that has caused any bumps. You can see vertex that has been offset slightly, and that looks decent enough. Now let's go to the shell modifier and see how that looks. Well, okay, it looks better now. Let's go ahead and collapse the geometry. Let's turn off see-through mode to have a better look. Okay, better. Now let's go ahead and tighten the geometry a bit, because right now if you use Let's go ahead to the modify panel and let's convert this mesh to an editable poly. And what we can do now is let's go to a subdivision surface and use NURB subdivision. You can see that the geometry is pretty much too loose. So what we can do is let's go to the edge mode, select these edges, apply a ring selection, and before that let's go to the polygon mode and select these faces right over here, and let's delete them because we don't need them as we are going to mirror this geometry onto the other side. And now let's go to the edge mode and let's connect it using two edges, adding a pinch like that, and I also want a sharp edge over here, so let's use connect, click on connect, and let's before that what I want to do is you can see in a reference picture that there is a crease over here. Let's take a look at it in another view. uh, can't get a better picture. Okay, you can see here that there is a crease that runs over here. So what we have to do now is we can go to polygon mode and extract these faces out. Let's select all these faces, and I don't want these faces to be selected. And then let's deselect also these faces, and we can detach this geometry and name that as hood piece 1, and let's exit isolation mode and enter into isolation mode for this geometry, and let's close the gap that we can see over here by bridging the gap, and I don't want these edges to be selected, and also I don't want these three edges to be selected, so that now I can go ahead and bridge the geometry across using three edges. Or let's use just one edge like that, or let's decrease it to 0 and apply. Now let's ring selection this edge, and let's connect them. Now we can go ahead and merge these vertices right over here. Okay, and let's see if this is merged. Okay, and let's also go ahead and close this gap. Oh, there's no place over here, so let's weld these vertices together. Okay, and that has formed a nice piece of geometry. Let's apply uh, NURB subdivision and see how that looks. And here you can see that some of the vertices have not been welded correctly. Okay, in that case what we can do is, you can see that a vertex has not been welded correctly over here. Let's turn off NURBS distillation, and you can see a gap over here. So let's go to edge mode, and bridge those together. And that's looking better. Now let's use NURB subdivision. And that has cleaned the geometry up a bit. So now let's go to the edge mode, select this edge, apply a ring selection, and let's connect that edge using a tight loop. Like that. And let's see how that comes out. Well, that's pretty much better. Next thing what we can do is, we can also tighten this place. So let's apply a ring selection, excuse me, and let's connect it. Bring that edge all the way till the end, and that has completed this part. Let's exit the isolation mode now, and let's concentrate on this piece. Let's go to isolation mode, and you can see that this is the piece of geometry that we have bridged to the hood piece number 1. So let's go ahead and delete these pieces because we don't need them. Let's delete them, and let's go to the edge mode, select these edges right over here, except for some of the edges over here, and over here, like that, and let's bridge them. And now let's connect the edges by applying a ring selection and using connect. And let's go to the vertex mode, select these two vertices, weld them together. So let's take a look at the smooth mesh preview. You can see that this corner needs an edge loop, So let's apply a ring selection and connect them using one edge, and sliding the edge all the way till the end, like that. And you can see that that looks pretty better. uh, let's exit isolation mode now, and now let's concentrate on okay, I think we can end this lesson over here, and continue the rest in the next lesson.